we could transition this to a conversation about the journey, right? And that's something that you've obviously been a big advocate for. If you want to become a software engineer, you must fall in love with the journey rather than the outcome. Because it seems that all true software engineers really have a love for that journey in a sense, the development of that skill, rather than just thinking about what's the next job I'm going to get per se. Would you mind
Yeah,
kind of speaking to that some?
yeah, 100%. It's whatever profession you choose, you have to enjoy it. I got that advice when I was quite young from somebody. He said to me, "Whatever you do," he was highly successful, but he hated his career, and he became a drunk, and he was super, super successful. He said, "Whatever you do, Steph, just do something you like. Better to be poor and enjoy getting up and going to do your work than to be wealthy and hate what you do." So whether it be software development, whether you decide to go do Rust or web development, or whether you want to get a job somewhere or freelance or start a business, what I suggest is that the first thing you do is you think about how you want to live your life. Because if you enjoy what you do, and you got to marry that with natural inclinations, like, I might like to be a singer, but I don't think I would make any money panhandling with my lack of singing skills.
I
You
feel
have to
that.
choose you have to choose a skill set that aligns, but you have some talent and has some value. But yeah, choose something you like, and it's so important. It's so important.
Would Would you say it's more important to like something or be curious about it?
I think both come they come together. Like for me, I can say with software development, I was just fascinated with the idea of building a system or building a piece of software that people would use. I got a kick out of that. I really enjoyed the idea. When I wrote the piece, I got something working. Then when somebody was actually using it and finding use in it, that was I really liked that quite a bit.
That's really interesting. So we just so it's when I started working with Peter, one of the most interesting things was he's a natural builder, right? He one of the things that we talked about the most was he didn't go work at a Google or any of those companies. He said first and foremost he wanted to be able to control his lifestyle. But one of the things that always kind of plagued him in the back of his mind was, okay, I built so many things, but no one used it, right? So we started having him build out some internal tooling within DevSlopes. One was kind of creating an AI note taker within HubSpot because there's nothing that's natively in there right now. For if you're actually making calls, all of it's for Zoom right now. All of our call, like the way that we function is off of phone calls. And so he built a tool out like that. And I tell you what, one of the most interesting things was he called me the other day and he's like, so like, are people actually using this? And I said, actually, before I answer that, I'm going to call one of our reps. So I got a couple of our reps on. Shout out to Chris, Micah, and Alex. And they're like, dude, this is fucking awesome. Like, we're using this daily. We no longer have to worry about if the associates leave good or bad notes. Like, you clearly did this. In fact, can you add this to it? And Peter and Andre, shout out to Andre too, we're just like, this is so cool. Like, they're actually using this. This has to be the best feeling in the world. When that starts happening, is that almost maybe like the tipping point when you're like, okay, this is really fulfilling almost to work on something that's being used by people?
That was for me. It was a huge part of it. I think it's a question of in psychology they've shown that people, if they feel useful and they accomplish things, that builds up your self-esteem. It puts you in a better mood. People get depressed when they feel like they're useless and they can't get anything done. So, or they're not contributing in some way. So it's like it's the same psychological mechanism. When you go volunteer, you help the homeless or something, or you donate, or it just feels good. So because you're helping out, and I think when you build a piece of software and people are using it and they're getting use out of it, you get the same feeling.